evident already. This is...
All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Warash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, whom I learned the truth from. Peace and salutations to you, hopefully elect Akim, pushing the word and truth and the sincerity. May peace and blessings be upon your households in these last days. And I want to touch on two videos going into, this, this so-called war, between the U.S. and Iran, in the effects that it's having on, the entire world, but mainly the food, the agriculture, here in America, man, which the food supply is already low. But, this war is just speeding up that famine, which is going to lead, it's going to speed up and lead up to that RFID microchip, okay, the mark of the beast, all right, because what Esau Edom, according to Revelations 12:12, he's coming down with great wrath, all right, he's putting the squeeze on this earth, all right, and the inhabitants thereof, man, all right, and this food crisis, this famine that the Lord is getting ready to bring is going, is going to usher in, the M.O.T. to the B, man. All right. But the elect, Yahweh Shema Shai are going to reign supreme. All right. The Lord is going to sustain his elect. What is that in, believe in Isaiah, all right, where roughly paraphrasing, the Lord said his servants, the men and the women, the Akwaf who are serving Yahweh Shema Shai, they're gonna eat, they're gonna be taken care of, man. But the rest of you 2/3 are you wicked ass heathen. You gonna pay the ultimate price. You gonna starve to death. All right, let's play this video, and I got another video as well. Grab some scriptures, and then that'll be it.
democracynow.org. I'm Nermeen Sheikh. We turn now to the risks of a global food and hunger crisis if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed to shipments of fertilizer, oil, and natural gas. The Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, warned last week that a prolonged crisis in the Strait could lead to a global food catastrophe due to rising oil prices and disruptions to the fertilizer supply chain. A top United Nations official echoed the FAO's warnings Wednesday, saying that the closure of the Strait was creating a crisis in the agricultural industry in Asia and Africa. According to the FAO, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Somalia, Sudan, Tanzania, Kenya, and Egypt are among the countries most at risk from the Strait remaining closed. Jorge Moreira da Silva, Executive Director of the UN Office for Project Services, said the UN has established a task force focused on fertilizers and supplies of raw materials in order to prevent a humanitarian crisis.
The disruption of the Strait of Hormuz can push 45 million more people into hunger and starvation. So clearly we need to do something. And that's why it's so important that the UN is ready through this mechanism.
Before the war, 1/3 of the global fertilizer trade, as well as roughly 1/4 of crude oil and 1/5 of liquefied natural gas, passed through the Strait of Hormuz, but tanker traffic has essentially come to a standstill for nearly 2 months. For more, we're joined now by Adam Khanieh, who's been closely following this. His latest piece in the Financial Times is headlined, "The Coming Global Food Crisis." Adam Khanieh is director of the SOAS Middle East Institute at the University of London, and his
All right, so you seeing all these major news stations, or around the world, they're touching on this food crisis, man. What? Because Esau, the beginning with the elites, what they have to let you know what they're doing before they do it. All right, they call it they call it prophesying on the left hand side. All right, they're letting the people know what they're doing. before they do it, man. This this food crisis, which they call it a food crisis, but is in the scriptures is known as famine. All right, the Lord is bringing this. The Lord is bringing this famine, okay, to for amendment. All right, scourges for amendments, man. All right, because they to pine away to starve to death. That's a very that's a very brutal brutal death, man. Okay, we'll touch on this really quick, and I just typed it in, and we'll get the AI overview of it. It's Genesis 47:15, okay, and it's referring to when the money fell, which we're seeing in this modern day Egypt. The money is failing. All right, the money is worthless. This is why it costs. This is why it takes more dollars to buy particular goods. All right, everyone's complaining about this or that going up. No, it's not that the products cost more. It's that your dollars that you got, they ain't worth nothing, man. Okay, money fell refers to the severe famine during Joseph's time in Egypt. Okay, and the Lord is going to do the same thing in this new Egypt, this modern day Egypt, where all currency was spent or exhausted in exchange for food, forcing the Egyptians to trade their livestock, eventually their land and freedom to Pharaoh for substance. The situation in famine was extremely severe across Egypt and Canaan, causing all resources to be exhausted. The exchange when money ran out, all right, which this is getting ready to happen very soon. All right, money ain't gonna, money's not gonna be worth what you see on it. I got $100 bill, so I got $100. Nah, man, soon that $100 bill is gonna be toilet paper. All right, it already is. People just they're still underneath that illusion. Joseph accepted livestock, horses, flocks, cattle, asses in exchange for bread for a year. That's real wealth. That's real, that's real substance. Okay, not paper dollars. The next year, the people surrendered their land and became servants to Pharaoh in exchange for food. This is what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, this is what he wants. All right, this is exactly what he wants. This is why he's bringing through Yahweh Shemashai, because Esau, he's the left hand, he's the sword of the Lord. But nevertheless, this is why Esau's doing what he's doing. All right, he's gonna force, we're gonna get it too. He's trying to force everyone into his beast system. All right, control the food, control the people. Okay, let's see. Centralizing all wealth in the land of Egypt under the crown. Okay, exactly. Esau, this is what he wants to do. He wants to centralize all wealth. He wants everyone to be underneath one banner. All right, the new world order, one order. Okay, and how is he gonna try to do that? He's gonna do it through the food. All right, because when people can't eat, when people can't feed their families, they gonna do whatever they gotta do, man. All right, that means going down to line up and take that mark of the beast. If the Lord ain't dealing with him to take that sea hit, they gonna do it, man. All right, Esau knows this. This is what these devils are banking on.
Recent book is Crude Capitalism, Oil, Corporate Power, and the Making of the World Market. He joins us now from Shanghai, China. Professor Hanier, welcome back to Democracy Now! If you could just begin by laying out all the different factors leading to a possible global food crisis, the signs of which actually are evident already in several countries.
Thank you, Norman. Yes, The article argues that we need to move away from just considering the Gulf as oil and gas producers and actually think very carefully about the ways that they have diversified down the value chain into things like fertilizers. As you pointed out, about a third of the world's basic fertilizers now pass through the Strait of Hormuz. And in some of these chemicals like urea and ammonia, the Gulf monarchies stand as some of the world's largest producers. So the closure of the transport through the Strait of Hormuz has really strangled the global supply of these key fertilizer inputs. It's not just a question of supply shortages, of course. We're actually seeing price rises accompany this process as well. So we see supply shortages of fertilizers, price rises of fertilizers, as well, of course, price rises of basic energy, including gas and oil, which impact very deeply farmers and agricultural systems around the world. So this is, I think, as we've heard earlier, the Food and Agricultural Organization warning of the impact of this, and I think it is now that this real reality is actually becoming very clear.
Professor Hanya, the piece actually.
All right, so we we're not gonna play that whole thing, but you get the point. You get where this is going. All right, we're gonna go here, Revelation 6:4, and it reads, "And there went out another horse that was red." Okay, red symbolizes danger. All right, but it's referring to who? Esau, Edom. All right, the first came out red. Okay, horse represents power, so Esau was given power for a period of time, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Slakia, to take peace from the earth. This is Esau. This is his MO. You don't want nobody to be at peace. Okay, especially you Israelites, man. He doesn't want you to be at peace. All right, he wants you to be, engulfed in the curses. Ultimately, he don't want you to be in no peace. He doesn't. His job is to take peace from the earth. All right, and food is a sense of peace. This is why you have in certain countries, in certain tribes, in parts of the world, peace offerings will be in the form of food. Food and drink. All right, because food represents peace, man. People are at ease when they got a meal, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword, and Esau is using that sword. Okay, it's more than a gun, man. When we say Esau's blessed with the sword, it's more than just his weaponry. He has control of the earth. All right, he's using food as a weapon. Okay, he's using food as a weapon, man, to control. He's going to use food as a weapon to control the people. All right, Revelation 6:5, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. All right, we're in a time of judgment, man. Okay. Revelation 6:6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." All right, the oil and the wine. What goes into this truth? Okay, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, but back to the top. Okay, a measure of wheat for a penny. This is that. What is that going into? It's going to take a whole day's of work. All right, to get some food. Okay, this is why people are all online complaining about the grocery prices. Okay, and it's only going to increase. It's only going to get worse. Okay, until the scripture is fulfilled. Okay, a loaf of bread is going to be $500 very soon. Okay, You got people who don't believe that's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen, okay, and it's gonna happen really soon. All right, a bag of rice, is gonna be 250, $300. Carton of eggs is gonna be 300, two something, man. Okay, people are gonna very soon. They're gonna walk into the grocery stores, and people mouths are gonna drop. Okay, and that's gonna usher in that famine as well, because a famine is not just that it's no food. Famine is that food is not accessible. Okay, there can still be a famine even though there's food, man. Okay, but if you don't have access to that food, you can't get that food, and you aren't able to eat, then you're in something considered a famine, man. All right, a lot of people are getting ready to starve. Okay, this is why you Jakes, man, you better get right with your power, quick, fast, in a hurry, man. Okay, we'll warn it off here, Revelations 13:15. And it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. Okay, this is what Esau is setting up, man. All right, and the Lord gave him the power to set it up and do it. All right, and that they should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, so this is when you go into this word "killed" here, it's not necessarily talking about being, even though people are going to be put to death for not worshiping Esau Edom, okay, in his system, but it's also going into being cut off. Okay, when you cut someone off, you kill them. All right, and what's a major way of cutting somebody off? Taking away their food. Okay, you don't get down with the beast system and with with these elites from these heathen nations. What they got planned and what they got going, then you're gonna be cut off. All right, you ain't gonna be able to work, which within that, what you ain't gonna have no money, and if you ain't got no money, you aren't able to feed yourself and your family. Revelations 13:16, and he caused of all, bro, both great and small. Slacky, and he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor. Why is it including everyone together? Because everyone during this time, everyone's going to be on the same playing field. All right, because it ain't going to be about money. It's not going to be about what you got. Your so-called riches. None of those things are going to matter, man. Okay, he's gonna cause force everyone to get on board with this new world order. Okay, via what? Controlling the food. All right, controlling the food, man. When you control the food, that you got the real power. You got true power when you able to control people's food, because you're able to control them. All right, when people don't have food, they gonna get in line. Okay, especially you Jakes. Free and bond to receive a mark. All right, a charagma, man. That's what it's going into in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so through this famine, he's gonna cause or force people to receive this charagma. All right, a lot of people are gonna fold and bend the knee to this, man. Except the elect of Yahweh Shemon Shai, which we hope to be a part of, man. All right. Hey, the Lord's servants are going to eat. Remember that. Akim Aqua. All right, but you Babylonians, you 2/3, man. You gonna see, you gonna be experienced with this famine. All right, these horrible plagues and judgments that the Lord is bringing, man. But with that, we'll close this lesson out, Lord willing. It was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.